I got a immediate inquiry from a friend. Her friend owned an agency that was called Rebranding 360. You actually used to work for them. I got you introduced, and I started doing 360 photography for Google Maps, so Google Street View, but inside of businesses, and that turned into a huge deal. I was traveling all over the country, teaching photographers all over the country, virtually and if in person, how to do virtual tours from small all the way to the large stuff. And that one just kind of like really spun it off because I got thousands of opportunities to pitch more stuff, right? Photo shoots, video shoots. So it's kind of an alley-oop for me, right? All that Rebranding 360, the Google Trusted Photography Company, wanted was the Google Virtual Tours. And so he was like, you can sell whatever you want. Sell videos, sell social media. And so I was like, okay, great. So 2-3 shoots, so sometimes a day. And that really kind of kick-started it. And so by having that steady stream of business, like line of work coming in, then I was able to start focusing on new types of business.
Yeah. We had this thing where we couldn't leave that whole retail center until we went to every single location that was attached there. Maybe the one across the street. Just let them know about our services. We had some print material. We let them know we just did something for their neighbors. Nobody wants their neighbors to outdo them. I'm here with this equipment.
I just did a photo shoot right next door to you. I can save you some dollars while I'm here right now. If we have to come back, I already have it ready to go. We got a lot of no's.
Yeah,
a lot of no's. I even got shooed out multiple times. I had a few people yell at me.
Yeah.
They're like, I got a no soliciting sign.
Yeah.
But like,
we got a lot of no's, but I would say the biggest thing, people knew about us now.
Yeah,
people knew that this guy named Khary represented this company that could do this service for me. I have his card. Whenever I do need this service, I can call them. We would get their information a lot of times because they'll have cards. Follow up with them, put them in a CRM, and just try to consistently add value to them.
Yeah.
So. And one thing, especially when we were doing what we were doing, people needed content, especially these retail locations, show off what their service could be and what it looks like.
Streamlining virtual production or virtual panoramics for Google was kind of like the big first step. And then since we were able to have all those businesses that we could keep selling photos and videos to, that's kind of gave us the ability to start bringing on our first employees. And have editors can start editing the photos for us and editing the videos, having that initial pipeline. Again, then once we didn't have to do the post-production as much and the editing, then we could start focusing on new parts of the business.
Yeah, so I remember those days. Maybe walk us through how that transition went, like from the Google virtual tours to going into like a real, creative video agency. Yeah.
Well, before we dabbled ourselves in a bunch of weddings, right? So that's how we kind of made a bunch of money initially. Was just doing weddings that were all from like people that I met in Galveston. We landed the Google job, and then as soon as we started mainstreaming that stuff, we were able to then start getting photos, videos from on smaller projects, start building a pipeline of business for ourselves. And then we were at that point we were actively seeking out new types of leads and new generation leads. And so there's like different things that you could hook up to your like Calendly. So a restaurant could hire you to do like 5 dishes of food, or this company can hire you to go take a restaurant or whatever they wanted of their hotels or stuff like that.
Calendly or Smartshoot?
It's Smartshoot, but there was like integrated with it. So, but anyways, we were figuring out ways so that we could just like automatically fill our calendars at high volume. We wanted to do tons and tons of photo shoots. They could be $50, but ultimately we wanted to do
any $50 ones.
I did a lot. We did a lot of $50 shoots.
We've even done free ones. So.
We started just figuring out a process to be able to like do volumes worth of shoots at small amounts, and from there we were able to land some pretty big clients like Grubhub and Uber Eats. Uber Eats was first because they had just started doing food delivery on the application from, just like the Uber driving around and stuff. And then, so now they'll bring the food to you. So they were building up menus for restaurants, and they found that the restaurants were giving them really terrible photos, and they're like, people are not ordering. So they basically wanted to hire a production team to do the photography at each restaurant so they could have similar standards, have the thumbnails, all the different dimensions and things that they need across the platform. So we figured out how to do that basically per restaurant, and then we formatted all these things, and then we got to we're doing like 6 in a day, doing like 2 to 3 photographers. And again, we just got to also have the layup to be able to offer that restaurant, after we're doing the food photography for them for Uber Eats, then we were able to offer them an upsell, which was more food videos, social media management, and other things like that. Kept building and building. We kept giving more value and more value and more value, where until we landed Grubhub, and that Grubhub one landed us where we did the entire brand in different states. So from I think Arizona to North Carolina, we went to pretty much every major city, and for multiple days capturing restaurant dishes. So tens of thousands of dishes, labeled and scaled for different sizes and formats for different portions of their platforms. So we figured out a way to like mainstream tens of thousands of images in a very short time for a huge brand, and they just kept coming back. They loved it. They were like, all these companies need data, they need media, they need like photographs for everything. So, and we delivered, and we gave it to them extremely organized. So I think that's kind of what helped us propel ourselves, is that we were able to do high volume extremely well and relatively cheap. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Right. I had to do that, a bunch of $100 shoots. And then I was like, I'm done selling $100 shoots. So like, I'll just, if you're not interested after my 100, I'm not even gonna talk to you. And so then I got it to a point where it's like, I'm gonna charge $1,000. Mm-hmm. And then so we charge $1,000 and get really good, but keep providing more value and more value and more value. And then we got to the point where we're charging like $7,000, $10,000 for a video shoot. And like, they're like, well, how do you evaluate that? I mean, that's what you do now, is like give that value. The tools that you're using, the skills that you learn and acquire over the time, and just better storytelling. Mm-hmm. All of those things helped us get to the point where we're at now, mm-hmm. right? Not even just storytelling, but even like having the evidence of us doing that stuff, because most people are not going to be the first person to invest in you. That comes across the board for like investing in businesses. As soon as you get an investment from one investment, the other investors are like, oh yeah, this is great. This sounds good. Yeah. So like, it's the same thing. Like, that's why so many people want to do these spec ads, right? Because if you can prove that you can do this spec ad and you can make this look incredible, then you can showcase like, hey, look, I made this piece. I want to do this piece XYZ, like this, like that. And they're going to be like, oh yeah, I see that you can do that. Mm-hmm. I used that literally yesterday. I showed a piece that we did before to our client, and they're like, referencing our video, they're like, yeah, I need to do that. We want to do that shot, but with our character. Yeah. So they can start seeing themselves in it, and that provides that value.
Absolutely. That makes sense.